Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here!
Hoje pessoal, estamos aqui de volta com a terceira parte da quest. Eu sinceramente tentei fazer uma pausa, mas fui apenas mover-me um pouco e a cutscene já começou aqui. Não há muito a fazer. Bem, parece que temos aqui uma máfia boss que é bem suspeita no meio disto tudo, mas vamos ver quem é antes de tirar conclusões.
Huh? You mean us? That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
Não, somos novos
From
aqui.
mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums. You name it. Spina di Rosula does it.
Ok.
And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
Ok, Navia. Damn, que design
So
top.
those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
O outro chama-se Gold. Ok.
Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Ok, ok.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Boss Demoiselle.
Well, I am the second generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand. That's right.
Parece que sim.
I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Yeah, no, it's not
Really?
Lenny.
We think so too. That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition. Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she? But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Yeah.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydroarch.
I mean, who would?
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
Yeah, makes sense. This is like the most level-headed Genshin enjoyer possible. Right here.
Alright, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Ok.
Wait a minute. Did that answer count?
Parece que sim.
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
No.
Well?
And why would that be?
Yeah, exactly.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, Demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent.
Thank you,
No matter
Melis.
how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
That's more like it.
Acho que o pai ia demorar. Falou várias mãos.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances.
Yeah,
In
makes
this
sense.
sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. Huh. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lenny's tricks. Thanks!
Ok. Infelizmente não posso fugir daqui, apesar de ter um evento para fazer. Posso voltar aqui onde estava. Será que não? Era aqui onde estava, vamos começar a investigar. Vamos ver se o Esmond tem mais alguma coisa a dizer.
Go ahead, have a look around. In the end, we're both after the truth.
Ah?
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
So either Lina didn't realize this or...
Why are you suddenly so serious, traveler?
I mean... Lina gosta de fazer as coisas todas perfeitas. Não sei se ele faria um detalhe deste escapar assim, mas... I also doubt he just straight up killed everyone. Not everyone, but like... Acho estúpido ele ter morto assim... O companheiro dele em... Lucas. Portanto eu estou a dudar imenso. Especialmente depois do 200 IQ que ele fez desde o início. Meio queimada pelos vistos.
Whoa! Look! This bit is made from different material! Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait! Why don't you write all this down? Let's take notes!
Special rope. Ah, interesting. Maurice?
Hello there! What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself.
Weird.
Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The
Damn.
magic troupe members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the magic troupe at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Leslie. I mean, supostamente ele foi escolhido randomly, right?
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
Oh?
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
I mean, innocent until
Lenny
proven
used
guilty.
the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance.
I mean, acho que isso fazia parte do trick, não é? É por isso que quando ele próprio está a referir, aquilo não parecia ser random à tal, portanto. Até meio que penso que tenha sido planeado em advance.
In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
Ok.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Even though it's bad for Linny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
Knows, man.
I see that you're investigating the area.
The hell are you?
Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too.
The
If you
hell?
find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, alright?
Why?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
You are sus, my dude.
Why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. It all started with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Oh, boa
Yes,
noite, site, tudo bom?
It wasn't
Você
terribly
perdeu
loud,
aqui o show,
but I
cara.
suspect that most
Isto
people
é quase
heard
tá
it.
foda.
It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
sense. So,
Porque a
what do you
Pompom
make
está
of it?
disfarçada.
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of
Cara,
Lenny's
tem aqui a
accomplice,
Pompom,
Lynette, perhaps,
mulher,
jumping atop the water
a
tank,
Paimon,
something like that.
a
When the
Paimon.
pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
But
Ok.
wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Neste momento estamos a investigar
Perhaps the
mistério,
balance
site.
wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
Isto foi a cena, estávamos a ver uma performance foda para caralho, uns truques de magia ali cabelosa. Aí chegou ao final do truque, não sei se foi bem o final do truque ou se ainda estava a meio, mas o cara mágico vai fazer ali uma troca, está a ver? Tipo teleporte. Aí o mágico aparece no lugar certo, no outro lado, e a rapariga que escolheu supostamente random do meio do público simplesmente desapareceu. Ela não está em lado nenhum. E enquanto isso, o teleportador lá, que era para ser teleportado a moça, foi destruído com uma caixa de vidro que caiu em cima com água. E quem estava lá perto era o ajudante do mágico, e esse ajudante morreu. E agora nós estamos a investigar quem é que tem a culpa nesta porra toda. Uma novela aqui cabelosa, cara. Run the water tank.
Oh, that's true. I suppose I must
Caralho, mataram o ajudante do
reconsider.
mágico mesmo. Ai, cara, mataram ele mesmo. Eu próprio estou admirado. Nunca pensei que o Genshin mataria alguém assim. Na hora. Não sei se está para ver bem. Mas... está do outro lado. Está a ver esta caixa aqui? Esta jaula estava cheia de água. Fui para o primeiro truque do mágico lá. Ele meteu a irmã dele lá dentro. Tapou esta porra e ela ficou lá a afogar. Aí ele fez uma magia, ela desapareceu e voltou. Isso aí correu tudo bem. O problema foi esta caixa aqui. Que era para ter, que era o equivalente a esta. As duas caixas eram iguais, está vendo a ideia? Aí a ideia do truque é: o mágico entra na caixa ali e uma pessoa do público é escolhida ao acaso. Descobrimos que não foi bem ao acaso, a máquina escolhe sempre o mesmo número. Mas isso também é meio óbvio. E essa pessoa vem para aqui e depois o truque é trocar os dois de lugar. No caso, o mágico foi dali até aqui. Mas a moça que entrou aqui não está em lado nenhum, ela simplesmente desapareceu. E o cara que era ajudante dele, que estava ao lado da caixa ao mesmo tempo, simplesmente morreu porque esta porra caiu em cima deles. A moça desapareceu, ninguém sabe o que aconteceu à moça e o ajudante morreu. Agora estamos aqui a falar com o povo. Deixa eu ver aqui. Ok, este aqui.
Whoever the murderer was, why would it be him?
Está aqui, isto foi o cara que morreu.
How strange.
Calou, Paimon. Nossa, que Paimon irritante.
Gosh.
Esta foi a moça
No
que
wonder the
desapareceu.
serial disappearances never got solved. We all heard that noise, didn't we?
Tu farmou a tua equipe não cai hoje. Eu farmei ontem, para mim o dia resetou há 1 hora atrás. Portanto ainda não farmei, mas vou farmar. Mas eu farmei de ontem, estou farmando agora um novo domínio. Sabe porquê esse site? Porque eu acho que esse domínio tem o set top para a Fuxuan, porque ela escala com HP. Aí esse set já fica para ela. Fica a fazer uma Fuxuan DPS. Pelo visto a Fuxuan vai ser um suporte foda para caralho. Cara, esta nova região está foda para caralho. Os caras fizeram algo no outro nível. Eu curti. Vamos continuar aqui a investigação. O mágico está aqui já agora. O mágico é aqui o Lenny e isto é a irmão dele, a Lynette. E esta região é baseada na França. Portanto, a gente tem que ler esta porra toda a francês. É Baguette, é Lynette, é a Molly. É o Merci, tá a ver, cara? É tudo à francesa essa porra. Deixa eu ver o que é que...
Lenny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. You'd think someone would be
Também estou
assigned to
formando
monitor
isso
us
do
later,
Quantum.
but
Esse e o
that's
do
alright.
Quantum. Ah. O do Quantum já consegui um set attack decente para a Scylla e para a Silver Wolf. No entanto, eu próprio gostaria de dropar algo assim um pouco ainda melhor. O foda está nas outras peças. Sabe o que é que eu reparei? Eu já tenho 53 daquelas 530 daquela porra para trocar artefactos. Ou seja, dá para trocar para 53 artefactos novos. Isso faz dar bastante. Caraca, tenho que ir pela porta. Olha aqui com esta moça, que é suspeita. A Návia também. Ela é boss de gangue aqui. Mas também está-nos a ajudar neste momento. Ela tem um design top.
Speaking of that, I think magic shows would be very popular in Poisson.
Poisson.
I can see that.
Poisson.
Maybe I should try to learn some magic. If I could make things disappear, cleaning my room would be a cinch.
You need not worry about such things, demoiselle.
Demoiselle.
That falls under my duties.
Oh.
Belus.
Right.
Návia. É tudo francês, cara. E tu estás cheio de bagulho para craftar e escolher os status principais. É. Eu só escolhi um. Fez botas de speed pro. Opa. Isto é final, Tristan.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
Ou seja, ainda podia ser mesmo que eu quisesse teleportar, que foda. Estou preso aqui dentro.
So we're investigating the case.
Eu estava ali à procura da porra deste item no inventário e afinal estava em cima. Esta foi a corda que estava a prender a jaula de vidro com água dentro. Pelos vistos parece que alguém teve a queimar um pouco por fora. Eu acho que a culpa do firework não cola. E esta corda também é feita de um material inflamável. Isto é muito suspeito. Esta porra aqui do número random, que é para escolher alguém do cenário, supostamente foi descoberto que está viciado, calha sempre o mesmo número. Mas isso também podia ser parte do truque, não diz nada.
Always guarding this entrance.
Caraca, mano, estes meluzentes.
Chief Justice gave the order. Everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection.
Não sei se você sabia, estas porras de criaturas chamam-se meluzentes aqui no jogo. Eu próprio não sabia. Só um member of the guards. Esta aqui é Tristan. Mas são chamadas de meluzentes. O que você acha disso?
So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on.
Já gosto mais dela.
I doubt there was much opportunity then either.
How can you be so sure,
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Lenny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just
Ela
my
queria ver a
luck.
performance do Mask. Melhor do que serem chamadas de Musashis. A Meluzin pelo menos gosta de mim. Pode crer. Eu nem posso me queixar muito da Meluzin em relação à Koenskaya.
But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no
Essa
matter
vadia da
how proud
Koenskaya.
the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melazines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
Olha, Meluzins.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. Alright, thank you for your help. This will be useful info.
Ok.
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Lenny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Depois disso, Paimon, depois de uma pessoa morrer, O que me faz estar impressionado é que. Será que o cara morreu mesmo? Mas parece que foi o caso. A não ser que tenha feito aqui uma magia. Foi mesmo verificado, acho que o cara morreu.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower.
Ok.
Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and we'll be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions.
Tô formando esse pequeno feito agora para recuperar o prejuízo que a Musashi me fez ter.
Fine by me.
E você ainda assim no lucro.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Cara, prejuízo é gastar 900 quartz para uma coin sky.
Well,
E não ganha nada.
we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Okay.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick.
E ele vai
But
rolar o
before I
truque.
reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here?
E ela agora estava lá dentro.
I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Okay.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Isso era só para distração.
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you
Okay.
put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
That mean tem uma box dentro da box.
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
O truque foi revelado, cara. Que triste. A magia não é real, site.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose
Só
of
trouxe
the
cá em
box
máscara.
inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box
A
would
apresentação
descend after
estava
the
foda, não
audience
posso
member
negar.
was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So that's how you did it!
O truque foi revelado, cara.
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience
onde é que
member
ela
would
foi?
only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
Ja, realmente onde é que ela
I
estava?
was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
Daí é
And
multiversus.
that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
Você entendeu, cara? Quando o cara apareceu, era apenas ela disfarçado dele. Isso quer dizer que este cara já vestia as roupas dela. Ah lá, o cara usa roupa de mulher. E a moça usa roupa de homem, cara. É foda. Mas isto também é uma roupa bem à fanboy.
So that's how it all worked! Wow! Every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last!
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
Damn.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off.
Damn. Verdade, cara. A magia é mais foda quando não é revelada. Só hoje tu estivesse aqui e gostar. Por falar nisso do stream UFG hoje. Não. Sabe o que é interessante? Falando no Astulf, ele esteve aqui mais cedo. Ele chegou aqui, ele disse para rodar tudo no banner da história, cara. E eu fiquei a pensar, caralho, nem vou fazer isso. Se eu fizer isso, ainda sai outro Astulf. Cara, tem uns poderes mentais no outro nível. Com o Astulf 30 cm ninguém brinca, cara. Ele é que brinca com você.
And yet, to think that someone was
Esta
able
mina
to
tem um
use
design
this
foda
magic
para
trick
caralho.
to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Usou o Satã Imperial do Sagan 2. Zero-lhe atualmente. A magic trick. Buy a box. By using a box inside the box, the idea was the box containing the audience number was. So, also used this time. Magic box at the center. Okay. Caraca. A gente consegue subir, nem consegue subir esta porra.
What's this?
Eu estava farmando pequenas free quest e percebi um bagulho.
Rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Vale mais a pena dar segmento aos LBs, porque lá gasta pelo menos menos energia. Vou farmar pequenas free quests, gasto minhas energia toda. Normalmente há assim, ainda mais. Agora eles deram tanta bonificação aos players novos. Você consegue fazer a história com metade do custo de SK e dá mais XP e tudo. Você consegue upar até mais rápido, acaba por ser melhor. Eu recomendo mais o povo também isso, fazer a história toda primeiro e só depois fazer as free quests. Só de fazer a história você vai ganhar um monte de primogems. Não é primogems, é skill. Caraca, mano, é muita moeda premium.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. Why would it have been left here?
Isso é suspeito, cara. Caraca, mano, o design da nave é tão foda.
Note of it first.
Acho que ela tem um dos designs mais tops daqui. Dropped Hook Rope. Estas cordas aqui são suspeitas.
The floor is wet. Please.
La floor is
careful not to
wet.
slip.
La floor is wet.
Why would there be water here?
Oh, Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear. And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
Broken flower vase. Isto agora pode ser qualquer coisa, cara.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right?
Ih, ela já está
Clothes
nua.
are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
E já foi raptada.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them?
I mean...
Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
A gente precisava do all item aqui. Cara, a gente quando achar ela vai estar nua. Opa. Esta porra aqui.
What is this place?
Ih,
It
caraca.
seems someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Capaz.
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
Parece grande o suficiente.
There are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down. Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up.
Ser aqui desta porra. Deixa eu ver uma coisa, eu consigo. Isso que eu vou testar, mas provavelmente não deixa.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
Tá aqui uma novela.
The plot thickens. Elsie's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
Ok, mas onde é que está desaparecida?
Charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides. That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
Huh?
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the Oratrice as a reference. Then, finally, the Oratrice will be
Processo
consulted by
complexo,
officials.
cara, sem necessidade.
The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Novelette called the shots.
Novelette. Por
In
acaso devia
practice,
ser.
there is very
Só
little
reparei agora que o nome dele é
difference.
tipo navalha em
Always come to
francês.
the same judgment, which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa, whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point! That said, are they providing food?
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all. Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
Tem que confessar na pai, meu.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But how?
Understood, mademoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
E o cara vai cozinhar uns drinks e uns sweets. Se ainda tá aí, site.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Ei, caraca.
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
O cara tem
Good
uma
work,
máquina
you
para
two.
fazer doces,
Then I'll
cara.
get to it. Please sit tight for a
Fazer
moment. You'll
baguetes,
get to taste
sei
my
lá.
awesome snacks soon enough.
These three are quite the interesting group.
Spina de Rosula. Tem. Spina de Rosula.
And Paimon thought it
Os caras
was
fizeram
while it was still in the oven.
macrons do nada.
It's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Paimon was just thinking, aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks.
Makes sense.
Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack.
Ele percebe aqui dos negócios, para na web de fazer os macarons.
For each of us.
Only 3?
Eu.
Well, Eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't
Acho
be
que
able
dá
to
para
think clearly
recuperar
about
esse
the
que
case
até
on
à
a sugar
cama. Já
rush,
peguei
would
60
you?
de ontem para hoje.
Tea is
Caraca,
ready
esse
to be
está
served
forma
as
aí
well. This is Demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea
tenebroso.
with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
Okay.
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
Missing, yeah.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction.
Oh,
Perhaps
ela
the
tá
criminal
pensando.
thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowl.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowl before making her escape?
Será que a culpada é a Halsey?
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Or does she have any motive? The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
True.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case.
O que você acha, Site? O que tá acontecendo aqui nestes Paranaués?
Great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet.
Quem é que você acha que é o culpado nesta história toda, Site?
And I see you've already had 5 of them.
É, a Paimon é...
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest.
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count.
A verdade é essa cena é a Paimon, ela não me engana. Caraca, o Site deve estar aqui. Deixar o Site cozinhar, o Site tá a chegar a algum lado. Olha a cara de maníaca dela. Se ela não é a culpada, porque se preocupa em se esforçar até agora. Realmente você tá a chegar a algum lado, cara. Nem pensar nesse pormenor. Agora pode ser a Paimon, quem sabe. Ela suspeita. Acho que ela mais suspeita que qualquer um dos magos lá. Mágicos.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon?
Ih, cara, você tem razão, só até Paimon aqui comeu mais macarrões do que devia e nem admite.
Those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Malus, set up the stove again if you would.
Opa, que quero entrar aqui.
What are you doing?
Ah, não vou citar
Making sure
ninguém.
everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Ainda mais com as coisas que estão no jogo.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
Uma pessoa que come mais do
And
que
I have the
devia,
egg,
tu acha
sugar, and
que
almonds.
devia ter empatia por outras pessoas? Exato, cara.
Wow,
Acho que não é.
this really is your hobby, huh?
E acho que ela está a mentir, cara. Ela obrigou aqui a nave a fazer uma segunda wave de
That's it for
doces.
snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
Huh?
Alright, thanks for your help and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Probability of third person being involved. Ok. Agora é capaz do.
It's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial.
Parece que agora já estamos meio que livres de sair daqui.
Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case.
Como esta missão já está a ser muito longa, pelo menos em relação para mim que já tive a fazer estas partes até agora tudo de seguida. Calma, Paimon. Caraca, Paimon está quieta. Mas a quest para mim já está a ficar muito longa e está ficando tarde. Vamos acabar por aqui, povo. E no próximo vídeo acabamos a parte 2 desta quest. Espero que tenham curtido. Vejo no próximo vídeo e fui.